What's up, guys? So some shit happened recently, and I kind of want to talk about it. So apparently, this dude left a voicemail on some chick's thing after their first date, and it's caused quite a stir around places and around conversations around men, around consent, and around being, open and honest with people. And I thought, since big thing about my channel is trying to talk about stuff like this, I thought maybe I'd give my 2 cents worth. So with that being said, all right, cool. So we're gonna start. I'm just gonna start. I've got it all. I've got two little clips that I want to play. The first one is going to be the voicemail itself, and then the second one is kind of an additional thing that's happened since then. But first, let's listen to the voicemail.
Because it's easier than texting all this, but anyway, had a good time tonight. Definitely think you are lovely.
I really hate the in and out that the audio does.
We're going to go to your place on Thursday. I mean, I am looking to have that physical intimacy to see if I am sexually compatible with you. So if I'm going to come over,
or on the second date,
I would be hoping to hook up, have sex, have a good time, have that romantic spark and that physical spark there for my own sake, because it's hard for me to continue dating someone and seeing them if I don't know if I'm sexually compatible. So I know you said I don't know about that, so I guess my thing is what would be the point of me coming over then if we're not gonna hook up and cuddle and be intimate with each other? And if that's what you don't want, that's fine, but I think we should just end it here then, respectfully, just because first date, that's fine, you want to get to know each other, I'm all about that, but I am looking to have that physical aspect there, and I don't want to continue seeing someone if I don't know if that's good, if that's not there or not. So up to you, let me know. I'm happy to, if you do want me to come over, I'm happy to do so. Would love to have some time, and we can have some wine, hang out, and chill. But if you're not trying to hook up, then I think we should just go our separate ways. Let me know.
Him no, he says. So first of all, wow. Okay. I applaud this dude for his candor, at the very least. I can appreciate somebody who is very open and honest with how they're feeling. I appreciate somebody who can express their desires directly and succinctly. But my guy, oof, this is not the move. So let's just okay. So let's break it down. So apparently, the story behind this is this guy went on a date with this girl, and apparently the first date went great. It was a Hinge date, which I know all dating apps are the same to some people, but that matters in this equation. But it was first date on a Hinge date, and apparently it went well. Apparently dude was cool, and then this voicemail showed up, or this voice note showed up the next day and completely came out of nowhere, and apparently it was just a big turn off, big ick or whatever, which I get. Because my guy, how did you bring this up in the first place? Because it's obvious to me that at the very least, physical intimacy was brought up on the first date. I think halfway through it said, I know you said you didn't know about that or whatever. My G, that should have been your indication that she wasn't interested in physical intimacy yet. And to follow up with a demand, because let us not insult this by saying it's a request. This is an ultimatum, my G. If she is not willing to give you blanket consent whenever you come over, then you don't want to see her again. Like, that's an ultimatum, my G, which is fine if that's what you're going for. But let's not pretend that this is you being an emotionally intelligent, thoughtful dude who's just trying to be upfront and honest with what he's wanting to get out of this connection. Because if you were, you would have said it at the first date. You would have said it at the restaurant or the coffee shop or wherever it is that you guys met for your first date. You would have indicated in that moment, hey, in the first conversation, what are you looking for? You know, what are you trying to get out of this Hinge date? You know, that sort of a thing. I'm not saying I've been on a billion dates or anything, but every single first date I've ever been on, there's always the conversation of, what are you looking for? What are you hoping to get out of this? What is your desired outcome for this whole thing? Are you wanting a relationship? Are you wanting a friendship? Are you wanting to just hook up? Like, what are you wanting to do? And if dude wasn't honest about that in the very, very beginning, which, based on this reaction, posting this voicemail as if it is an audacious thing to do, indicates to me that he wasn't. Because if I am a person receiving a voicemail like this, I am going to... I feel like I'm going to know it's coming based on the behavior of the person. I'm going to know that this person is wanting to be physically intimate in some way or another sometime before this voicemail comes. It sounds to me like dude brought it up during the first date. And in that instance, she gave a no, bro. If it's not an enthusiastic yes, it is a no. That is the key, like the keystone of consent, is that if it is not an enthusiastic, wholehearted yes, then take it as a no, because it is. And her saying, I don't know about that, was an attempt to let this dude down gently, while also not shutting off the potentiality of future conversations about that intimacy happening. If she didn't want to screw this guy at all, she wouldn't have said, I don't know about that. She would have been very firm in the, yeah, that's not going to happen. And you know, there could also be a safety aspect to it. I don't know what this guy looks like. I don't know what this guy looks like. I do have a vague idea of what the person who got the voicemail looks like. I'm pretty sure that there was a picture of her on like the profile or whatever. But I have no idea what this dude looks like. So there is a possibility that this dude was very forward and very, maybe intimidating. So as such, maybe this person didn't want to just be like, no way at all, not gonna happen, because dudes can be dangerous sometimes. And that could have caused a violent reaction. And I understand that like that might have been the case. But either way, it's indicative, if you are taking it at the most charitable way, it is indicative of the potentiality for future conversation. I don't know about that. It's at best, at absolute pie in the sky best, it is a we'll see, but not now. And frankly, that seems pretty reasonable to me. As somebody who has had a number of first date hookups, and also has had a number of relationships where we didn't hook up until, I don't know, not the first date, whatever, or third or fourth or whatever. I can safely say, and I can safely attest, that a lot of people out there not really gonna do the first date thing, because I I hesitate to bring up the man bear conversation, but it seems relevant. In the scenario that this boy the scenario that this boy is in, he has gone on a first date with this person. He has attempted to initiate sexual contact in the first date. Now, fellas, let me talk to you here for a second. One of the things that we have to remember as men is that women generally are essayed by us, by men. Like, men make up the lion's share of essay cases in the United States. So that is something that we consistently have to keep in the back of our minds at all times whenever we are trying to initiate or intonate that we want some kind of physical intimacy or potential alone time with somebody of the opposite gender. Because of this, there is a certain level of security that needs to be provided, whether it be emotional security, whether it be a feeling of physical security or something. But you have to give that in order for people to feel comfortable inviting you back to their personal, private safety place, which is their home. Just like you, I'm sure, would like to know who somebody is before they come into your home. And while I understand that, like, as men, we don't really think about, well, if I invite her back to my place, then there's hardly a possibility that she's, gonna beat me up or kill me or anything like that, because, I'm the big bad man, I'm stronger or whatever. So you have to consider that when and I might be getting this statistic wrong. If it is, I will post the actual statistic up here. But I think 1 in every 5 women experiences SA in their lives. So what you have to take into consideration is that 1 out of every 5 women that you see in the world has already had the most an extreme violation of their personal autonomy from jump. Before you even walk up, there is a level of concern because of your approach. And again, gonna have to do the statistic thing again. I think it's 1 in 5 men commit SA. So, consider that you're a woman and you are at a bar and you are out with your friends. There's 5 of you and there's 50 men in this bar. 10 of those men might assault you, might assault 1 of you of your group. 10 of them are, by statistics, 10 of them will do it at least once in their lifetime. And 1 of you in your group will have it happen to them at least once in their lifetime. Most times more. So you have to take into consideration that you may be the 5th dude that she's gone on a date with. And as such, the other 4 might not have done anything. So just by statistics, you might be the likely candidate. So she obviously has to move as if that is something that you are capable of, unless you provide her with some sense of security that you're not. If you can't do that, then of course, even if she was interested in having that first date hookup, she would not invite you back to her place. So the idea of voicemailing and being like, hey, I know you said you weren't sure about it, but I'm letting you know I am sure about it. And if you're not down for it, then I'm done. You didn't have to send that voicemail because you could have just said at the beginning of the date, I want to do physical intimacy immediately. What do we got to do to make that happen? And don't get me wrong, most women are going to laugh you out of the room. You do that. Well, they're probably not going to laugh you out of the room. They're just going to laugh and then leave. But there are women out there that are like that. I can attest to it. I've met them. I've gone on dates with them. I've hooked up with them. And, like, they do exist. You just got to find them. You just got to be honest that that's what you're looking for. I've been on these dating sites for a decade, longer at this point. And I've had on my profile multiple times that all I'm looking for is a physical intimate relationship. I'm not looking for emotional. I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I'm not looking for a partner. I'm looking for a friend with benefits. And yeah, the amount of matches that I got in those time frames were noticeably less than the amount of matches and the amount of hearts or likes or whatever it is that the different apps are using these days. I did get less during those times because that's not what a lot of people are looking for. But it is what a fair amount of people are looking for and are totally cool with doing that if you meet the criteria that they have. Similar to how you have criteria, so do other people. And if you're not somebody that fits in the criteria of the women that are looking for one-night stands, then you can't really be surprised if you're not a guy that gets a lot of one-night stands. And to finally, just to wrap this section, this little bit up, my guy, you're on Hinge. Now, I as I said, I have been in these streets for 20 years at this point. I've been running these streets, trying to swing, trying to find partners, trying to just find hookups. Like, I've been out here doing it. And I can say with a very, very good amount of certainty that certain people have certain expectations when they go to certain apps. If you're wanting hookups, you can generally expect, traditionally, you can expect that Tinder is where you're going to find those people. If you are looking for a real deep connection and like compatibility and all of that kind of stuff, then you're probably going to go to like Match.com or maybe Plenty of Fish or something like that. If you are looking for a kind of a mixed bag that like is fairly decent catering to queer people and all that, you go to like OkCupid or something. If you're wanting to find real connections and like someone to date and be in a relationship with, as far as I understand it, you go to Hinge. So why, my guy, are you trying to use Hinge as the hookup app when that's not the hookup app? And like, is it on your profile that you want physical intimacy immediately? Or are you just like every other mediocre dude who is like, yeah, I'm just a regular guy, looking for open for connections and that sort of a thing and all of this, but you never actually indicate what that means? Because I've done that. I'm going to be honest. I've done that because I was trying to get more matches. Because I was trying to get more people to be interested in me. But like, you're not really being honest if you're doing that. You know why you're on the site. I knew why I was on the site. But I felt like I had to use specific words in order to convince these people that like my profile was worth clicking on. And I feel like maybe our voicemail guy's doing the same thing. That he's putting himself out there as somebody who is looking for genuine connections, looking for, just based on his language, I can tell that that's probably something on his profile, is that he is looking for, lasting connections and that sort of a thing, and compatibility is important, and we have to be compatible and all that. And that, I'm sure, reads to a person on Hinge as somebody who's looking for an emotionally based romantic relationship. But obviously, from this dude's voicemail, that's not what he's looking like. It's not what he's looking for. Homeboy's looking to get his dick wet, which I respect it. If all you're doing is trying to get your dick wet, just say that. There's plenty of people out there that would love to moisten your piston. You just gotta find them. You just gotta be honest. You gotta put yourself out that that's what you're looking for, and you gotta be appealing to the people who are looking for that too. Or maybe adjust what you're looking for. Who knows? I can attest, as somebody who changed over the course of time from somebody who just wanted physical relationships to somebody who wanted something deeper, I can safely say, and I can 100% attest to this, that I met my current partner on a dating app that is traditionally understood to not be as serious when it comes to long-lasting relationships. I had just gotten out of a really bad divorce, so I was definitely not thinking I was looking for something long-term, and I had stated that in my profile. And I met this person. We hit it off over text. This was also like during COVID, so there was also like the social distancing stuff. And we hit it off, and we ended up meeting for our first date, ironically enough, at my house. So like the idea of, I had already created a safe enough environment that this person felt safe enough to come to my home, which arguably I'm a cis male. I'm a cis white male, so like that was brave. Babe, that was so brave. Because they didn't know who I was. I could have just been feeding them a fucking line full of shit. But then they show up to my house, and then suddenly they're in a bathtub with their kidney missing, you know? And like, we had already intonated to each other that like physical intimacy was not something that we were hoping to just like jump into, but it was, or we were specifically trying to jump into, but it was something that like was obviously that was obviously something that was there and, was potential. Our first date ended up with us pretty much hooking up because I created a safe enough environment. They created a safe enough environment that we both felt comfortable enough to do it. And like, I literally got what this dude wanted in his voicemail by just connecting with the person and finding out who they are, what they like, what they dislike, what they're looking for, what they're not looking for. And maybe at the end of the day, like, that's the grand advice that I have for this situation is like, if you're the type of person that is wanting physical intimacy immediately, you need to tell that to the person from jump. Like, one of the first things that needs to come out your mouth is, what are you looking for on this app? Okay, I am looking for this. And you explain that you're looking for physical intimacy very quickly because sexual compatibility is super important to you. And then, who knows, maybe you won't be getting posted on the internet and getting dragged by every single feminist that's out here, as well as like dudes who think you're lame, because what the fuck are you doing, bro? Which kind of, brings me to our next little situation. Apparently, this is not the only person leaving these types of voicemails on women's or not voicemails, voice notes on women's phones. Because apparently, and I don't know what show this is, but apparently there's a radio show called The Brooke and Ashley Show somewhere. And, well, you know what? Again, I'm just going to play the video. I've cut it down to just the important part. And I've left a little bit of the commentary in at the end. That old Brooke and Jeff have to say. By the way, no clue who these people are. But I just let's play a little game, okay? Let's you and I play a little game. We're gonna count how many phrases in this voice note are either similar or exactly the same as our boy number one did. So yeah, let's see.
Listen, I just wanted to send you a voice note because it's a little easier.
Okay.
If we're thinking about going over to your place next weekend, and I'm totally open to that. But I am craving that physical intimacy.
Intimacy.
To see if we're, compatible in that way. So I'd be hoping to see if there's that romantic spark there.
Again.
Just for my own personal sake. It's hard for me to continue dating someone without knowing if we're compatible in that type of way. And so, up to you. If you do want me to come over, though, and have some wine and get down, then sweet, let's do it.
What?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm used to going beep like the loser line.
Yeah.
Okay. Brooke, what's your initial read on that voice message?
Oh, man.
God. Why wouldn't he just let the moment happen?
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is exactly my point. Brooke puts it very succinctly there that why would you just not let the moment happen? Why would you not just naturally let that unfold? And I think we all know the reason, because I've been talking for 20 minutes about he's not making the situation safe enough that the person is willing to open their legs. And if you're not able to create that type of environment, then you can't expect women or people who are romantically interested in you to hook up with you immediately. You have to create the environment that they feel safe enough to want to do that. And then you also have to create the attraction to you enough for them to want to do that. All the safety stuff aside, I'm making the assumption that they're into you in that way in the first place, and that all you have to do is just create an environment with which that potentiality could come about. But you also have to work to be the person they want to fuck. If you're not somebody that a girl wants to bang, then you can't be upset when they don't bang you. And I think that the ultimatum aspect of it is wild to me. That it's I know that we had a little bit of a connection, and you weren't down to do the physical stuff, so because of that, I'm not even willing to entertain anything else. That to me is mind-blowing, because the idea of why would you waste your time on a dating app, bro? Especially Hinge of all dating apps. If you're wanting to hook up, go to the hookup app, bro. That's what Field is for. That's what Tinder is for. That's what, you have other options other than the, this is the app designed to make relationships and designed to be deleted. Really, bro? That's the app? You're I'm gonna use this to hook up with girls. Come on, dude. There's a lack of foresight in your dating app selection. There is a lack of understanding of the situation that you find yourself in. And then there's just an uncouth lack of basic respect for this woman's no. Because she already told you that she wasn't wanting physical intimacy early. I don't know about that. Should have been indication enough that you either didn't create the environment or aren't the type for her to want to do that very quickly. And that should have been your cue. This probably isn't the person, because it very obviously seems like you've made that decision from jump. If you're already giving somebody an ultimatum by date 2, you've already decided that you're probably going to be better off without them. And honestly, do every woman in the world a fucking favor and just accept that feeling. if you even have the thought for just a second that it's not going to work out because they're not like willing to be physical with you on the first date, put that feeling right here. Take that bitch to heart and leave her alone. Just like let her go, bro. Because if you're wanting to hook up on the first date and you couldn't get it done, it's not her responsibility to carry your ass across the finish line on date 2. Be honest. Be upfront. Tell the person you're talking to with romantic interest what you want, and then there is a better possibility that you'll get what you want. Otherwise, leave everybody else the hell alone. Because my God, bro, like, anyway, that's it. That's the whole video. That's all my thoughts. Do all the things, and appreciate you hanging out. And yeah, be the man that you needed when you needed one, because we need them more than ever. And I know that back in my day, when I was a younger man, trying desperately to wet my whistle, I definitely could have used that advice. If it seems like a no, just take it as one, and just leave her alone. You'll be better off for it. She'll be better off for it. Have a good day, guys.